Hi, I'm Connie from The Extraordinary Marriage. Today we're going to look at 3 things that cause hurt in marriages and 3 things that we can do to get past that hurt. Well, first of all, the little things that we do every single day have a greater impact on others than you might think. A smile, a frown can make somebody's day. A kind word instead of criticism can lift an individual's spirit rather than dragging them down. And that's from John Maxwell. And guess what? Just like when we're out in the world, it's the same way at home. How do you look when you first wake up in the morning? Are you kind, thoughtful, lifting of one another? Well, maybe after the first few minutes, right? Maybe we shouldn't talk when we first get started. But how do we treat our spouse? So let's look at 3 things that really hurt in marriages. Number 1, speaking unkindly. Thinking about what we're saying to our spouse. Is it lifting them up or is it tearing them down? Is it have that body language, that tone of voice that says, I don't really want to talk to you. You're not important to me. Sometimes we have to make an effort in that. Number 2, not being open and not being trusting. If you don't open up with your spouse and share your soul, what is there? Who is there? We all need to feel loved and important, and we need to be able to share our heart with somebody. And so number 2, not opening up and not trusting. And believe it or not, some people are wide open and others are tightly closed and they don't share. And how can you know what someone is thinking or what they need or what they want from somebody if they don't share it with you? Number 3, not treating your spouse the way that you want to be treated. I really believe in that. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and it goes for home. It goes at home the same way it goes out in public. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And sometimes it has to start with us. But guess what happens is when things aren't going well, our spouse is not treating us well, then we're irritated, we're bothered, and then we're not treating them well either. Now it's a cycle, and it's going round and round. So how can we change these things? Number 1, make the move to do something that y'all like to do together. And, it might not be what you like to do because you may have to do what they like to do in order to spend time with them. But it's important to spend time together. Take time to talk. Take time to share thoughts. Take time to enjoy life together. The second thing is figure out what your love language is. I just did the quiz the other day. I actually have shared what the 5 love languages are. And I actually just took the quiz and I realized that I started thinking that my top love language was actually what my husband's top love language was because we've been married so long, right? But make sure you know your love language and what's most important to you and that your spouse knows it, and know your spouse's love language so you know what's most important to them. This is like the thing that feeds their soul. It feeds your love. It makes them feel important. It makes them feel cared for. It makes you feel cared for. So it's important to come together and figure those out. The third thing is to understand your communication style. That some people are totally direct and they tell you just what they need, and others are indirect and they beat around the bush. And when they do say anything, it's time to listen. And it might just be a little bitty something, 1 sentence. But if they said it, you need to pay attention because they never tell you what they need. Communication styles are so important as in how we handle stress, how we handle our emotions, how we talk to one another, body language. All right, so 3 things that hurt people in marriage and 3 things that can help. Now remember, November 2023, I am going to be stopping doing these vlogs. I've been doing them for 4 years, and I will begin with the Extraordinary Marriage podcast. And I'll have guests twice a month. My husband's going to join me once, and then I'm going to do 1 week of training by myself that I'll carefully plan for because I love sharing ways that you can make your marriage better. Connie Durham, The Extraordinary Marriage.